Hi everybody, Erica Serwin here, and I have a little fall themed project for you today. It is a Matchbox design and it has a little pull tab. It features a little chocolate candy that I found at Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel is a great place to find unique candies, and this is part of their fall display. They're just little chocolates, and I would suspect, if you don't have a Cracker Barrel, that the Dove chocolates, the fall themed Dove chocolates, would fit in here nicely also. All right, so we're going to use two different stamp sets today. The Tabs for Everything, which is in the annual catalog, and we're going to use the circle tab punch to go with that. And my favorite from the 2017 holiday catalog, the Pick a Pumpkin stamp set. All right, so before we actually make the box, let's do all of our little goodies that go in the front. The first thing we're going to need to do is stamp our pumpkin. And the pumpkin stamp is, you can see there's lots of different choices here, and I'm going to use this little short squat pumpkin. And we want the whole pumpkin to be orange and the stem to be brown, so you could use your markers, but I find that when I do a big surface like that, the markers don't color it in quite as well as I'd like. So I'm just going to take a little piece of washi tape and I'm going to cover up that stem as best I can right there. And then I'm going to take my pumpkin pie and ink that, remove the washi tape, and get my early espresso marker and color in that stem. Now another thing you could do is stamp the whole thing in pumpkin pie and use a blender pen to remove the color off the stem and then go back with that early espresso marker. All right, a little huff. Make sure it's nice and ready to stamp, and there we go. There's the pumpkin. All right, now we're going to do several die cuts at one time. So let me move the Big Shot over here. And I've got my magnetic platform, which is great to hold the framelits around your images. But when the framelit is small, you can see they like to jump around. Those magnets don't really hold them in place. I'm guessing because it's too small, it kind of gets pulled by different magnets. So the way that I do that is I let the framelit go where it wants, and then I move the paper in the place of wherever that magnet wants to go. I let it be the boss of the placement. All right, there's that one. Now I'm using two different leaf framelits. These are both from the Seasonal Layers framelits set in the annual catalog. And then the pattern pumpkin framelits that match this, I'm sorry, I didn't mention that. That's what goes around this one. There's also cute little little vine things that you can add to your pumpkin. So I'm going to do one of those in crumb cake, and this is cherry cobbler and early espresso. And let's see, I think that's all I need to die cut. Okay, now this one is pretty intricate, which means there's lots of little things in there that it needs to cut. So I'm actually going to run this through a couple of times just to make sure it gets through all those little cuts. All right, let's see how we did. There's our pumpkin, and I know our leaf is coming out easily, and this one, beautiful, fell right out of there. Perfect. Now this one, let's see, one way to make sure, well, when it falls out, you know it cut perfectly. But one way to check and see is you can, before it comes off, you can turn it over and look to see if it cut out all those lines. Now, this is just, look how nicely this all falls out. And you can use your Big Shot brush. I didn't even pull it out today, but that would help get these little doodads out much faster. Okay, so let's move the Big Shot out of the way. And let's just make a little arrangement. I want to stamp the sentiment Enjoy, which is from this Tabs for Everything. I'm going to stamp it kind of towards, whoops, we don't want to stamp it upside down. Stamp it towards the top there so I can layer these. And I'm going to use my dimensionals. I'm going to put this leaf kind of over to the side, and this one is going to be poking out behind our pumpkin like that. Okay, so there's our little bundle of goodies. Now let's get this little vine. I don't know why I can't think of a word for that, but you know, it's the part of the pumpkin vine that they cut the pumpkins off of. And I'm going to use a glue dot. I'm going to put that right there. So cute. I think that's adorable. All right, so we have that. Let's get our ink out of the way and make our box. This is, like I mentioned, a Matchbox design. You know, like the little matchboxes you get at restaurants. So we're going, it's kind of like a drawer. We're going to pull out the little drawer. So this is the drawer, and it measures 2 7/8 this way and 2 3/8 this way. And we just want to score 1/2 inch on all 4 sides. Now don't worry if I'm shouting these measurements out at you too fast. I'm going to have the link to my blog on YouTube, and it'll all be listed there under the video. All right, the next piece, this is the part that the little drawer goes into, is 2 inches by 4.5. And we're just going to score on the long side at 1.5, 2, 3.5, and 4. All right, let me move my Simply Scored out of the way. And let's start with the little drawer, okay? And you're going to want to burnish all those lines. And then we're going to cut on the long side. We're going to cut those little score lines up to the horizontal line. Now another thing I like to do normally when I make this kind of box is cut my tab in half like that. But that'll make that tab really small and hard to put adhesive on. So I'm actually going to come up about this way, about that much down, and just cut it off at an angle right there. That's going to make sure that it is even with the side of my box. I want to leave enough tab there to stick down into that adhesive. All right, now you can use tear and tape, or you can use fast fuse, if my fast fuse will behave. And just a little bit is all you need. It holds it quite well. And we're going to fold these tabs in behind the sides, okay? Fold them to the inside. And there we go. And if I can get that last one in, there we go. All right, so there's our little drawer. Now I've cut 2 different pieces of DSP, and the DSP measures 1 3/8 by 1 7/8. And I want to put that down in the little drawer like that. Fits very snugly. Okay, and then you can get one of your chocolates, and I like to use dimensionals to hold candy in place. And that will just make sure that it's not rattling around in there. Like that. All right? All right, now let's make the holder for the drawer. This is our other Very Vanilla piece. I've made these out of Very Vanilla because the Painted Autumn DSP has vanilla in it, not white. All right, so you have a big side and a small, big side and a small, and then another small. Well, that very last small, we're going to put some adhesive on it and fold it underneath this drawer, this large side on the holder of the drawer. All right, so you can see how we've just created a little box. Now, to get this in, initially, it is a little bit tight, but we need it to be tight so it doesn't fall out. So you kind of need to manipulate it to get it in there, and then it should slide in and out. And yes, it is a tight fit, but that's how I want it. Okay? All right, so now I've got another piece of DSP that is the same measurement as last time, and I'm going to put it right there in the center. Get my drawer in there, right? And our little stack from before, I'm actually going to add another dimensional, like that. All right, now you could leave it like that, but I thought it would be fun to have a little pull on the drawer to make it a little bit easier to come out. So I got my circle tab punch, which goes with that Tabs for Everything set. And I'm going to punch out the circle tab. And then I'm going to, and I didn't pull a piece of paper out of here. You think we can get a 1/2 inch circle from there? We're going to try it. This is another Very Vanilla piece. And this is the heart from that Tabs for Everything. Let's see, we're going to stamp that on the corner and get my 1/2 inch circle punch. Let's see. All right, perfect. using up those scraps. All right, let's just use a glue dot for that. We're going to put that right there. See, this is to make a tab on a paper. Isn't that cute? Or in your planner or calendar. So we're going to use that as our pull tab. All right, now, last but not least, on this guy, we want to do a linen thread bow. It's got that fall look, but it's dainty. It's not too bulky. And let's add that in the middle of that heart right there. All right, now we're actually going to just adhere this together, okay? Because it's not going to go over anything. It's actually going to go behind that drawer. So put a good amount of adhesive right here on the bottom. Well, goodness gracious. There we go. There we go. And put it behind the drawer of part of your box. And then that will help you slide it in and out. Isn't that adorable? So cute. All right, so there you have it. Easy and fun and cute. Something that would be fun to give maybe at your Thanksgiving, you know, your Thanksgiving dinner, at work. I don't know, lots of choices for this. All right, now make sure you hop over to my blog. Follow the link back over to my blog. Everything is there, the products. You can find the product information, the measurements, and more pictures, close-up pictures of these. All right, you guys, let me know if you have questions. Thanks for joining me. Have a great one. Bye-bye.